Okay, welcome to another one take review. This time it is Kato's De10 diesel shunting locomotive. Part number, catalogue number is, if I can see the box, 7011-3. She's the new colour scheme for the locomotive. I've dulled down the grills a bit there and there. You do get some parts that you have to fit yourself, including the horns, but as you can see, they have not been fitted. They are an absolute swine to fit. You do get a nice little tool, but can I use it? No. So I'm leaving the horns off. You get some nicely detailed handrails. Although the ones at the back here are a bit, they need to be repainted slightly. Because when I was darkening the thing, I did it with the body on, making the wash. So I've got a little bit of overspray, but that's by the by. Okay, what is she? She is a bow coat, or I presume if that's on number one end. Number one end is here, I presume. So I presume that's number one end, that's number two end, so she's a bow coat, or she could be, if that's number one end, that's number two end, a coat bow. Or CB or BC, because what you have is, let me focus you little bugger. The lead axle has 2 axles on, and the following axle has 3 axles. So she's a B, C. You do get alternative knuckle couplings for this little unit. And where are they? I might have actually put them in the in my pack of bits with all my other stuff. But yeah, you get a pair of standard Buckeye couplings for if you want. Oh, there's one. You get a pair of those, which you drop the coupling assembly out, lift that off, drop that in, and put the coupling assembly back in place. And yet these do actually work. Despite their small size, they're nice little couplers. However, I've got no stock that uses them, so I'm just gaining them. Right, in this particular model as well, there's not really a cab interior as such. If I can get the cab off without breaking it. Let me just put that there. 1 second. Getting the cabin off is an absolute devil. You need a guitar pick or very, very sharp implement. Preferably plastic, but I've got no plastic things I can pop on there. There she goes. And it reveals a very, very basic cockpit. So if you want to put a character in here to look like it's driving, you're going to have to basically decapitate the poor fella. And you have to chop him in half. You know, basically, if I can find the figure. So if you imagine this engage these driver figures, you'll have to cut them, no joking, if I use this guy there, basically roughly where, about a couple of millimeters above where his t-shirt starts, that's where you'll be chopping him, so that he sits inside the cockpit. Yeah, this is your cockpit. That's a module. It is best to take this off when you're putting the number plates on. You get 4 number plates per identity, 2 for the front and 2 for the back. And as for Kato, she's not DCC ready. She isn't even DCC compatible, I don't think. Although you might get a drop-in decoder if you can make one. If you know anybody who, I don't know where you can get drop-in decoders from. However, running characteristics of this loco, not brilliant. It is not the best running loco on my layout. As running characteristics, out of a 10, I would give it. There you are. See the stalls. Now, I use mainly initial frog points on my 2 layouts. Oh, come on, boy. Come on, baby. Go on. Yeah, this is what I'm having to fight with all the time with this loco. So, will I get another one of these? Probably not. Unlike some of Kato's other stuff, let's get the my pen here. If you have a look down, you can probably make out the end of the wheels. There's sort of semi-open frame, which means your contacts are like a little horseshoe shape that go over the axle. And she's quite a lightweight locomotive, which means I think she struggles to make proper contact with the axles. She's not pushing downwards enough. That's part of the problem. If it didn't have that problem, it would actually be a half decent locomotive. So unfortunately, this is not Kato's best offering. Well, no, apparently it's a stall. Now, I know this track isn't the best. I mean, this is brand new. I opened it in this today. I just took it out of the box today. Now, running clearances are pretty tight. The bogies are of a pull. You can remove the bogies, which I have done earlier on to just clean them. Make sure they're properly cleaned. But yeah. Now, for the running wheels, the top left and the bottom right are fitted with traction tyres, which doesn't help on short points. Because if your frog, you've got an insulated frog and your blade is not brilliant, as you can see, she's sitting sort of there, not quite where you want it to be. An initial frog point knocking around the back of the I've got a couple of broken ones. Ah, yeah. I mean, yeah, you've got that wire there, which is supposed to carry current over the frog here. So from this rail to basically energize this rail here. However, if you've got a insulated rail joiner and you come onto the frog, you can sometimes find that your loco will stall because she's not quite long enough to bridge the gap. Because the moment that axle goes there, which is puts the main powered axle onto the frog, and the other wires there, where it should go across, but if you've got a insulated joiner here and you've not got best conductivity here, she's going to stall out. So a little stale life probably would do it, but there's not really much room in it because the top of the hood is basically the top of the ship. There's no room for a stale life. She looks nice, how she looks is pretty good. Until I went over it with the trying to pick out the vents, but that's my doing. What can it pull? To be honest, I have not tested that theory. Now, I have got some coaches lined up on this layout. So I will stick it onto there. I reckon she'll probably pull around about 6 or 7 coaches. So if I get my... go around there. Oh, well, oh dear. She wasn't railed properly. She looked like she was, but she wasn't. Right, we'll try that again. Come on. You little sod. Come on. Come on. Yeah. So that's what she can pull. I mean, let me see if I can just clean the track. Because this doesn't really get used, so the track work probably tarnishes a bit. Right. Try again. bring onto the clean stage. Now, bear in mind, I've just gone over that with a track. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 maroon era coaches. So oh dear, it certainly does not like this layout. I'll have to have a look to see why that was doing that, but kept derailing. Anyway, that's this one. Out of 10, sorry Kato, is not your best offering. You'll be lucky to get a 5 with this one. That's it. Not your best offering. Sorry Kato. Bye.